Hello, Malcolm here. Welcome to Quiet Time Coaching. This is episode 419 and we're having a fifth look at Awesome Anna. Let's read our text. It's Luke 2 verse 36 to 38. There was also a prophet, Anna, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. She was very old. She had lived with her husband 7 years after their marriage and then was a widow until she was 84. She never left the temple but worshipped night and day, fasting and praying. Coming up to them, that's the family of Jesus, at that very moment, she gave thanks to God and spoke about the child to all who were looking forward to the redemption of Jerusalem. We've learned a lot about Anna's relationship with God. What shall we take note of today? Well, I would say this. Her personal times of worship led to a natural enthusiasm to tell others about the works of God. That's one of the things we see here, isn't it? Anna is in tune with God. There's something about her devotion to him which puts her in the right place at the right time to notice what God is doing. Luke tells us that at that very moment she approached the family of Jesus. It seems that she is able to discern the work of God and deliberately move into that work. And once there, what does she do? She gave thanks to God, presumably because she recognizes that it is God who has brought all this about. The word in the Greek for gave thanks is anthomologeomai, and it's the only time it's used in the New Testament, right here. It means to come to an agreement, to confess openly what is due, to give thanks, to render praise. She doesn't keep in what she's recognizing here, that what God is doing. She does not simply rejoice inwardly. She expresses her thanks verbally and, I would say, joyfully. And that's not all. We learn that she spoke to all about the baby Jesus. To all, presumably not just Joseph and Mary. There were other people around in those temple courts, and she spoke to all about Jesus. Look at what I found. Look at what God has done. Look at what this means. So in some sense, she's being portrayed by Luke here as an evangelist. She speaks boldly, she speaks clearly, she speaks enthusiastically. Think about her. Think about her 84 years, or she could have been over 100, that's a previous episode, but certainly very elderly. And she was a widow, she was vulnerable, she had a tough life in so many ways. Perhaps she was stooped. She very likely would have had very few teeth left at this point in her life, if any. She might have been hard of hearing. She might have been partially sighted. But it does not diminish her spiritual perceptiveness, nor her enthusiasm to tell others about Jesus. And I submit that this is all to do with the fact that she's got a devotion to God. She's fasting, she's praying, she's there at the temple day and night. Something about that has given her this enthusiasm and this perceptiveness, and she speaks boldly. Let me ask you, what experiences have you had of noticing God at work? What was it about your devotion to God that made that possible? And if you know what that is, could you do more of that so you can be more aware of what God is doing? And in what way does devotion to God make you more enthusiastic about talking about him to other people, whether people of faith or not? See, here's the thing. You may have noticed the New Testament does not teach us much about evangelism, but the people of God are very vocal about their faith. So what conclusion do you draw from that? I'm sure there are many legitimate answers, but at least part of it is to do with having a real, vital, meaningful connection to God through our times of personal devotion. That is what gives us the enthusiasm to tell others about what God is doing. Well, I hope you find these thoughts helpful. If you've got a comment, do leave it publicly so we can learn from each other. And I hope that Awesome Anna inspires you as much as she does me. Till the next time, take care and God bless.